To this blog, I will discuss about cell type and structure. Before that, what is cell?
The cell, from the Latin word cilia, meaning small room, is the basic structural, functional, and biological unit of all known organisms. A cell is the smallest unit of life. Cells are often called the building blocks of life. The study of cells are called cell biology, cellular biology, or cytology. Cell consists of cytoplasm enclosed within a membrane which contains many biomolecules such as proteins and nucleic acid. Most plant and animal cells are only visible under a light of microscope with dimension between 1 and 100 micrometers. Electron microscopy gives us much higher resolution, showing greatly detailed cell structure. Organisms can be classified as unicellular, consisting of single cells such as bacteria, or multicellular, including plants and animals. Most unicellular organisms are classed as microorganisms. The number of cells in plants and animals varies from species to species. It has been estimated that humans contain somewhere around 40 trillion or 4 times 10 to the power of 13 cells. The human brain accounts for around 80 billion of these cells. Cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665, who named them for their first resemblance to cells inhabited by Christian monks in a monastery. Prokaryotic cell. The term prokaryote is derived from the Greek word pro, meaning before, and karyon, meaning kernel. It translates to before nuclei. Prokaryotes are one of the most ancient groups of living organisms on Earth, with fossil records dating back to almost 3.5 billion years ago. These prokaryotes thrived in the Earth's ancient environment, some using up chemical energy and others using the sun's energy. Prokaryotic cells are usually single-celled and smaller than eukaryotic cells. The bacterium in figure above is prokaryote. Prokaryotes are microscopic organisms that have neither a membrane-bound nucleus nor membrane-bound organelles. Some cell biologists consider the term organelle to describe membrane-bound structure only, whereas other cell biologists define organelles as discrete structures that have a specialized function. Prokaryotes have ribosomes, which are not surrounded by a membrane but do have a specialized function and could therefore be considered organelles. All metabolic functions carried out by a prokaryote take place in the plasma membrane or the cytosol. Prokaryotes are the smallest types of cells, averaging 2 to 5 in diameter. Despite their small size inside each cell, there is chemical and biochemical machinery necessary for growth, reproduction, acquisition, and utilization of energy. The common features of prokaryotic cells are cell wall, plasma membrane, ribosomes, genetic material, capsule, flagella, pili, lack of compartmentalization, plasmid, binary phase. All prokaryotes have a cell wall that adds structural support, acts as a barrier against outside forces, and anchors the whip-like flagella. Some prokaryotes have an extra layer outside their cell wall called a capsule, which protects the cell when it's engulfed by other organisms, assists in retaining moisture and helps the cell adhere of surfaces and nutrients. Pili are hair-like structure on the surface of the cell that attach to other bacterial cells or surfaces. Within the plasma membrane, the cytoplasm is not subdivided by membranes into organelles, a lack of compartmentalization that is most evident in the organization of the genetic material. The reproduction in prokaryotic cells is the binary fission, a process of growth, enlargement, and division. Eukaryotic cell. The term eukaryotes is derived from the Greek word "eu" meaning good and "karyon" meaning kernel, therefore translating to good or through nuclei. Eukaryotes are more complex and much larger than prokaryotes. They include almost all major kingdoms except kingdom Monera. Structurally, eukaryotes possess a cell wall which supports and protects the plasma membrane. The cell is surrounded by plasma and membrane, and it controls the entry and exit of certain substances. A eukaryote is an organism whose cells are organized into complex structure by internal membranes and a cytoskeleton. As shown in pictures, the most characteristic membrane-bound structure of eukaryotes is the nucleus. The features gives them their name, which comes from the Greek and means through nucleus. The nucleus is the membrane-enclosed organelles that contains DNA. Eukaryotic DNA is organized in one or more linear molecules called chromosomes. Some eukaryotes are single-celled, but many are multicellular. Eukaryotes include or protists, fungi, plants, and animals. Cell structure. The cell structure comprises individual components with specific functions essential to carry out life's processes. These components include cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, and cell organelles. Cell membrane. The cell membrane supports and protects the cell. It controls the movement of substances in and out the cells. It separates cells from external environment. The cell membrane is present in all the cells. It also the outer covering of a cell within which all other organelles such as the cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed. It is also referred to a plasma membrane. By structures, it is a porous membrane which permit the movement of selective substances in and out of the cell. Besides this, the cell membrane also protects the cellular component from damage and leakage. It forms the wall-like structure between two cells as well as between the cell and its surroundings. Plants are immobile, so their cell structure are well adapted to protect them from external factors. The cell wall helps to reinforce this function. Cell wall. The cell wall is the most prominent part of one cell structure. It is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. The cell wall is present exclusively in plant cell. It protects the plasma membrane and other cellular components. The cell wall is also the outermost layer of plant cells. It is a rigid and stiff structure surrounding the cell membrane. It provides shape and support to the cells and protects them from mechanical shock and injuries. Nucleus. The nucleus contains the hereditary materials of the cell, the DNA. It sends signals to the cell to grow, mature, divide, and die. The nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear envelope that separates the DNA from the rest of the cell. The nucleus protects the DNA and is an integral component of a plant cell structure. Cell organelles. Cells are composed of various cell organelles that perform certain specific functions to carry out life's processes. The different cell organelles along its principal function are as follows. Cell organelle and its function. Nucleolus. The nucleolus is the site of a ribosome synthesis. Also, it is involved in controlling cellular activities and cellular reproduction. Nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane protects the nucleus by forming a boundary between the nucleus and other cell organelles. Chromosomes. Chromosomes play a crucial role in determining the sex of an individual. Each human cells contain 23 pairs of chromosomes. Endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is involved in the transportation of substances throughout the cell. It plays a primary role in the metabolism and carbohydrates, synthesis of lipids, steroids, and proteins. Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies are called the cell's post office, as it is involved in the transportation of materials within cell. Ribosome. Ribosomes are the protein synthesizers of the cell. Mitochondria. The mitochondrion is called the powerhouse of the cell. It is called so because it produces ATP, the cell's energy currency. Lysosomes. Lysosomes protect the cell by engulfing the foreign bodies entering the cell and helps in cell renewal. Therefore, it is known as the cell suicide bugs. Chloroplast. Chloroplasts are the primary organelles for photosynthesis. It contains the pigment chlorophyll. Vacuoles. Vacuole stores food, water, and other waste materials in the cell.